Hi everyone, and welcome back to my new model barmy channel and the man cave. So what have I been up to? Done an exhibition, so did my local club's exhibition at Bognor Regis, which was very successful, well attended. Really nice to meet some of you subscribers, so it was a pleasure to meet you guys, and picked up a few more, which is always great. New camera, so hopefully the resolution on this is a little bit better. My old DSLR wasn't fantastic at video. Hopefully this is going to be an improvement. What else has happened? Oh yeah, a new sign for the man cave. Let's take a look at that. There we go. This sign was very kindly created by Ron at Totem Signs, who I had the pleasure of having the exhibition stand next to his at the local show, and I suspect any of you guys that have done the shows will have seen his work and will have seen him at the various shows. He, as I say, he trades as Totem Signs, and he makes these bespoke signs, so they look great for anybody's layout. So no surprise that I got him to do it in claret and blue. So check him out if you want a sign done. He's the man to go to. Nice fella, and turns out a really nice product. So anyway, there we go. So enough of that. Let's see how we're getting on with this the layout that I'm working on at the moment. Right, so as you'll see, I've made a bit of progress with this. So I think we left you with the track having been laid on the board. So the first job was to put some shuttering in. So I used my favourite coffee stirrers again to create this shuttering, which I guess you'd have in real life, because this is going to be grass round here. As I say, this is this chap's garden. So needed shuttering to separate the ballast from the grass. So I think through this project I'm going to have to tackle this build rather like you do for real in a garden, I guess. Done a little bit of the fencing. The fence posts I made up by laminating 3 coffee stirrers together, gluing them together, because I'm too tight to buy bits of wood to do that. And I just used some little metal pegs, drilled the underside and drilled the baseboard to make them a bit more secure, and I've started putting the fencing in. So the reason I've done these 3 bits of fencing is merely just to keep the ballast in check so it didn't roll off the edge. So I'll continue on putting the fences in. I'll probably use some matchsticks as well, just to give it the impression of a proper kind of fence. And I'll do that on the inside and outside, I think. So yeah, so I've got to make some paving slabs, and I think I'm going to sort of get the garden largely roughed out before I start tackling the house at the end. So I think what will happen is these 4 corners are going to be sort of rockery. I might have something in the middle of the garden, not sure yet. Might have a pond or something, not sure, or another rockery. Yeah, so that's where we're at now. Right, so this is where we're at now. I've now finished the fencing, so happy with the way that's turned out. I've used some Celotex in the corners, some insulation Celotex, just to make up some corners. These are going to be rockery areas, I think. We're really into proper gardening now, and I can't stand gardening, so this is going to be arduous for me, to be honest. So I think what I'm going to do is concentrate on the garden side of things now before I start thinking about building the house front at the end, which will obviously be very low relief. So yeah, that's my plan. So let's crack on with the garden side of things. Okay, so the next excitement is making some paving slabs. So I've cut some little squares out of foam board. This is just the signage board that I get from work. Thankfully I don't have to pay for it, we have loads of it and I just hoover it up. but obviously it's a bit boring as it is, just plain. I need to put some texture on it. So the way that I'm doing that is that each little square, I've got a little tub of this, I guess railway modelers would call it very coarse ballast, or probably O-gauge ballast, but I bought this from a pet shop, and it's called bird grit, and it's a very inexpensive way of getting a kind of a coarse ballast for use in dioramas and model railways and stuff. However, in this particular case, what I'm doing is I'm just literally pushing the surface of the little paving slab into this bird grit, and what that does, I don't know whether you'll be able to see it because it's probably a bit too light. What that does is it puts a texture on the surface of each of these paving slabs, so they look quite realistic. Now you can't really see it at the moment, but when it takes some paint, it'll sort of go into all those little recesses, and with a wash that will really bring that out. So I've got a shed load of these to do, so I'm not going to film me doing that because that'll just bore you to tears. So I shall excuse me, I shall just continue with that, and then we'll be on to the next bit. Right, paving slabs are now all cut and laid. So you saw me put the texture in. I don't know whether, I'm not sure this will focus. Yeah, just about. So you can just about see the texture, and I've painted these using just a Halford's red oxide primer, and then I've just given them a very fine mist of a light pink colour with the airbrush, which has given it this nice sort of slightly speckled effect, like a real garden paving slab would be. So they're all done, and I think I'll probably point them in once everything's pretty much complete. I'll use probably some tile grout or something, and I'll just sweep those into the gaps, and then add a little bit of water, spray some water onto it, and hopefully that'll go off. The other thing I've done, I've painted all the fences, so they've been pre-shaded to just emphasise a bit of shadow in a sort of grey colour, and then I've gone over them with a browny grey sort of worn fence colour. So the other thing I've done is I've made a couple of little wall sections, so they're going to sit in there, so they're going to just split the garden up from the house. So that goes there. So that's just foam board with plasticard, brick embossed plasticard, which I'll paint with the slabs on the top. And also the other thing I've made out of coffee stirrers is this little sort of rose arch type effort thing. So that was a bit fiddly. So that's actually coffee stirrers laminated together to make the posts, and matchsticks to make the lattice work. So it's a bit of a fiddly thing to glue together, but yeah, I like it. I think it does something for the general scene. So that's where I'm at the moment. I've probably next got to try and sort these rockery bits out, work out what I'm going to do there. So I think this video's long enough now, so I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, and please tune in for the next episode, where hopefully there'll be some more progress on this garden. So take care, and cheers for now. See you on the next one.